And welcome to the Virtual Business Owners Network on Friday, the 21st of November. Delighted to welcome Sean Hyland with a presentation called Sensible AI for Small Business. If you'd like to take it away, Sean.
Yeah, I suppose, let me hang on a second. Yeah, my Zoom thing is it's affecting my ability to control the slides here. But anyway, hang on a second. I tried that. Okay, so maybe this will work better for me. So yeah, Alec asked me to do a small presentation on automation. If a couple of weeks back, and Amit pretty much did all of that last week. So I thought I'd just maybe do a little piece on AI for smaller business, and just, we've had a series of AI conversations over the last number of weeks, and we've touched on a lot of the really good parts of it. And I suppose I might have got myself a bit of a reputation as someone who's kind of against AI, which I'm most certainly not. Um, and as a matter of fact, last month we launched our own AI model, which is a part on, part off line. And the idea being that our AI will have access to the World Wide Web and other public um, areas of the web that it can garner information from, and then we move it across to a more private area where we will be training agents to do certain tasks, and that won't have access to the internet at all. And it gets over one of my issues, which is data privacy. So I suppose just as kind of introduction into it, I was at a meeting a few weeks ago at Leo, and they were talking about AI and what it looks like, and where we are with it. And I suppose there was one of the people who was asking for a presentation, and they were asking for a presentation on prompting in particular. And um, this whole area, there's a whole load of people have just qualified in this area in terms of, I think it's called prompt engineering. And with the move from the large language model to the agentic systems, um, the prompting, they tell us, is going to be gone pretty much altogether. And I suppose the difference is that a large language model is that it has the whole internet to learn from, and I suppose it does a very, very good job of analyzing what's on there and making it available to you, the user, in terms of being able to generate new documentation or presentations. As a matter of fact, this presentation I'm doing today, I just popped it into a piece of software called Gamma, my prompt in there, and it went ahead and did all this for me in about 2 minutes. So, but I would just kind of want to look at maybe the move from the large language model into more agentic AI systems. And people need to understand what that is. And that is where AI itself will be teaching itself. So hence what I'm saying about prompting. But it will have the ability to do things and so act on your behalf. And you can even see some of the new assistant models, the AI assistant models that's able to book your flights and pass information around between everyone. So it's learning from what you do, and you tell it you want to go on holiday, and it knows all the things to do because it's been learning from you. And I think there was a question on here a few weeks ago about data security within these AI models and chatbot in particular. And say there's a button in there that you can say, look, I want to protect my data. And if you're on a paid version, they're agreeing that they will protect your data and not share your data. But what they're not saying is that they're still learning from what you're doing with it. So in the case of the person who asked the question, they had said that they had put a lot of their IP into the model for it to, like, in order for it to spit out stuff. It needs to have something to work with. So she put in a lot of information about how she works. And while it mightn't be sharing that data, it is certainly learning from the way she works. And while it mightn't be stealing your data, it may well be stealing your experience. And that's something people really need to understand. And I had a client that that was generating documentation for their clients. And what they were doing was they were taking information they gathered and removing the the names of the people and names of the company and making it an anonymous, or so they thought. But they were very, very surprised when they asked for a specific document to be generated and it had the name of the company that they were working for in it. Scared the living daylights out of them, and they've stopped using it in that way. So here's a couple of things to just kind of run through what the LLM models are really good for. So drafting marketing copy, we're all seeing this already. I think most companies, like as part of our conversation with the construction industry that we're going to have next month, we've done some surveying, and 97% of them are already using AI. And most of that is through chatbot itself. And this is the kind of stuff they're using it for: creating presentations, helping to to create quotes and uh, brainstorming ideas. And it's really, really good for this. And as I say, like, this LLM model is learning from the World Wide Web. It's got all this information, it's looking at patterns, and it's learning from it. But I suppose the more agentic modeling, and it's the kind of what's coming down the road, that is a lot smaller in terms of the databases. So, like, say, for example, the software we develop for our clients, and so it's managing their operations. And when we apply AI modeling to it, it has a lot less information to work on. And one of the issues that's very prevalent with it is that it's inaccuracy. And sometimes this is referred to as a hallucination, but to me, they're two different things. Right? Like, hallucination is to me where the information that you're working with doesn't fit the pattern that AI thinks it should be something else, and it frequently replaces the information you give it with that something else, simply because it thinks that's the information that should be there. The area of accuracy is where we might have many, many records about different clients, and we're trying to get AI to analyze them records. It just simply isn't as good. It's working on a lot with a lot less information, and it quite frequently gives incorrect information. And like some of the people using AI said that, look, it's 96% accurate. Well, in our testing and which we've been doing diligently over the last couple of years, 96% accuracy is not good enough. And our clients could not have confidence in that information, which is why we have very little AI integration into our systems already. One of the other things we're kind of worried about, and we're kind of saying to our clients, and like, apart from the fact that we don't think that anybody should be using AI for any of their critical systems, uh, another thing we worry about is the cost of it, because there's been a huge amount of investment in AI. To date, and from all the analysis that's going on, it hasn't made that much difference in our productivity. And the reason for that is we can already do a lot of this stuff. And maybe it's kind of looks different to the end user, but but a lot of the stuff that AI does, and even does very well, we can already do without AI. But there's a huge amount of investment going in there. Somebody's going to have to pay for that at some stage. And I'd point to some software models already, like HubSpot. I hope there's nobody working for HubSpot here this morning, but it's like one of these pieces of software here. They bring you in very low charges. As you start to scale, you start to realize that this is not as good value as you thought it might be. And I think we're going to find a little bit of that with AI too. The more and more dependent we become on it, the more and more expensive it's going to be, and it's going to be a challenge going into the future. Um, So just some kinds of sensible do's and don'ts. You can see the three definite don'ts on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, but on the left-hand side there, these are the things you should be doing. So you should be experimenting on it with it. You should be understanding how it's affecting your industry or what other people are doing. And you should be trying these things as well. The only thing we're saying to you is don't don't become dependent on it, and don't trust it completely, because it does some strange things. And every output that AI generates for you, you should have a look at it. Or some humans should be looking at it first. And that's it. It's me.
Okay, Sean, thanks very much indeed. I appreciate you putting that together, and we can have some discussion on it. And now I'll just stop the video.